Language learning seems like it should be simple. After all, we all learned our first language without even trying. But here's something wild. Studies show that 78% of adult language learners hit a plateau where they can understand everything but can't speak fluently.
That's such a fascinating disconnect, and the neuroscience behind it reveals some surprising insights about how our brains process language.
You know what really caught my attention recently? The research on what neurolinguists call the three pillars of language acquisition. When learners balance these elements, input, output, and feedback, they progress 40% faster than those focusing on just one or two.
Hmm. Could you break down how these pillars actually work in practice?
Think of it like training for a marathon. Input is studying the course map and watching experienced runners, essential but not enough alone. Output is actually running the course yourself, and feedback is having a coach analyze your form and suggest improvements. The research shows this three-part approach creates a powerful learning loop.
Well, that makes so much sense. And I've heard shadowing is particularly effective for the output pillar.
Oh man, the data on shadowing is incredible. Studies show it can improve speaking fluency by 30% in just 8 weeks. But here's the key. You need to do it right. The optimal approach is taking a 30-second clip of native speech, listening once for comprehension, then speaking along with the recording.
That's fascinating how it engages both auditory and motor regions of the brain simultaneously.
And you know what's really interesting? The research shows that just 10 minutes of daily shadowing activates the same neural pathways used in natural conversation. But there's another technique that's showing even more dramatic results: self talk.
Tell me more about that. What does the research say?
Well, studies show self talk can increase vocabulary retention by 50% compared to traditional memorization. But here's the crucial part: it's not just about narrating your actions. You need to use what linguists call elaborative rehearsal, adding emotional and contextual details to make the language stick.
So instead of just saying, I'm making coffee, you'd add more detail and emotion to it?
Exactly. You'd say something like, I'm brewing this amazing Colombian coffee that reminds me of that cafe I visited last summer. The emotional connection makes the language stick better in your memory. And speaking of memory formation, let me tell you about speed speaking. The results are mind blowing.
Oh, I've been curious about that technique. What does the research show?
So get this: when learners practice speaking continuously for 60 seconds without stopping, their verbal processing speed improves by 25% after just 4 weeks. But here's what's really interesting. The University of Michigan found that learners who embrace making mistakes progress 42% faster than those trying to speak perfectly.
That really challenges the traditional perfectionist approach to language learning.
And here's another mythbuster: consistent 30-minute daily practice is 3 times more effective than several hours once a week. The optimal routine breaks down like this: 5 minutes of phonetic warm ups, 10 minutes with authentic materials, 5 minutes of speed speaking, and 10 minutes analyzing your recorded speech.
That's such a practical approach. But how do people stay motivated long term?
The behavioral psychology research is fascinating here. People who track their progress through recordings are 76% more likely to stick with their goals. It's all about setting what researchers call micro milestones, small achievable targets that build confidence over time.
And how quickly do people typically see results with this approach?
Studies show learners using these methods typically see a 60% improvement in speaking confidence within just 3 months. But here's what's really powerful: the biggest predictor of success isn't intelligence or natural ability. It's what researchers call productive discomfort, the willingness to speak imperfectly and learn from those experiences.
That's really empowering for anyone who's felt stuck in their language learning journey.
And here's one final insight from the research that I think ties everything together. The brain actually processes language more efficiently when we're slightly outside our comfort zone. Every conversation, every mistake, every moment of slight discomfort, they're all contributing to rewiring our neural pathways for better language processing.
So, the key takeaway is that embracing imperfection is actually the fastest path to fluency?
Exactly. The science is clear. It's not about waiting until you feel ready or speaking perfectly. It's about consistent practice, embracing those mistakes, and trusting that each conversation moves you forward, no matter how many errors you make along the way.